Okay, good luck to everybody. Um, Yesterday we saw the limud. How do we know that kefel is not by every single thing, that not just balichayim, as would appear from the pasuk? So we had kol as a riboy. That was the maskana. Along the way, we had attempts to learn it out from a klalu pratu klal, and we came across the words geneva and chayim. So Rav went ahead and we said he needed it for Rav. That Rav said that if you go ahead and steal something, and then it goes down, then your achya ain't shegonav. You're going to go ahead and restore the keren, whatever the keren is. That was mentioned along the way in limudim. It now becomes one of the more significant shasim in daf. Again, this is one of the classic dafim in yeshiva. I still remember opening up with a ketzois and shindan vav. I will save you all of that because I did not prepare it either. But I still remember this tons of Torah on this daf. We'll do what we do, and we begin on daf Samik Hey Amid Aleph, about 4 lines down. Gufa. Gufa, again, we had previously mentioned this in the Limudim. Amarav Keren Ke'ein Shiganav. In other words, when a ganif, fellas, a ganif who pays kefel, there's 2 parts to kefel. There's the keren, the principal, and then there's the additional knas, which doubles down. That's called kefel. The keren will always pay the price that it was at the time of the geneva. The price that it was at the time of the geneva. Now, it's important to before we begin the sugya, if you steal something and you still have it in your possession, you return it and you say, "Hari shalach lefanecha," it's yours. We're not speaking about that. We're speaking about it's no longer around. The sugya is speaking where it's no longer around. Good. So keren ke'ein sheganav. And Tosfos asks right away on Gufa, on the same Tosfos, in Taimar, look at the Tosfos, 2 lines down. Umay kamashmalon, what's Rav telling me about Keren Kain Sheganav? Masnisan he, it's a Mishnah. Bereish Hagoizel, Kama, in the first Hagoizel, Kol HaGazlonim, all people that steal, Mishalim Kishas HaGazela. They pay Kishas HaGazela. So Rav, who's an Amoira, would not be able, Rav, who's an Amira, would not be able to go ahead and tell me something that I know from a Mishnah. The Mishnah says if you steal, not a ganif but a gazlin, you pay kshasa gazela. So I assume also geneva is no different. And for Tosfos, the chiddush is not that first part of Rav's statement. The chiddush is the statement which we're going to stay right now. Continues the Gemara, right? However, tashlume kefil, the kanas part, the dalad vehei, and it's a shor set, and you shechter or sell it, that you're going to go ahead and pay kishas hamad bedin. That you're going to pay kishas hamad bedin. So again, the kasha from Tosfos is, what is Rav telling me keren kain sheganav? And the answer is nothing. You know that already. You know keren kain sheganav from a Mishnah. What's Rav telling me? The chiddush is that the kefil and the dalad vehei is b'shas hamad bedin. Guys, good? Okay. Now continues the Gemara. My time with the Rav. Well, we know this is how we got in this Gemara in the first place. Amakra, the pasuk says, Geneva ve'aveda. We had the other day. We had I'll call them a pesha. I think that's the pasuk, right? I just have to find it. I know exactly in my head where it is. It's Chaf Beis Aleph. Mimatze timatze biyode hageneva mishor achamar atzeh chayim shnayim shalem. So it says geneva and it says chayim. So those 2 words, geneva and chayim. Now we used shor for karka. We used chamor for avodim. We used seh for what for shtaros. Now we use geneva to tell me the following. I should restore the keren to what it was at the time of geneva. So obviously now, fellas, it must be the geneva is not that price anymore. It must have been it went down in price. Good. So the Gemara now is going to struggle again. Exactly what is the case of Rav? Okay. So again, there's the case of keren kain sheganav. We have to figure out the kefel and the hamada b'din and the dalad v'hei will be later on, going what it was at the time of Hamad Bedin, but the keren will always be the worth of what? Kain Sheganav. Okay. Amar Rav Sheshes, says Rav Sheshes, Amina, I think, Kinayim v'shachar Rav Amal Shmaitza. Rav must have been sleeping when he said the sugya. There's anytime you find a kind of a satirical remark in the Gemara. I give you the Shuvas Chavis Yoyer and Siman Kuf Nun Beis. It's brought in the Sefer of the Chafetz Chaim that the Chafetz Chaim, who spoke about Lashon Hara, he goes ahead and he goes ahead and he goes through all the satirical comments in Shas that take place, and he goes ahead and spins them in the positive direction. Or else, how would it be that Rav Sheshes, a Talmud of Rav, would go ahead and say something so negative about his Rebbe? Rav was nothing to talk about. Rav Sheshes lost his eyesight trying to emulate Rav, the Gemara says. Rav never looked beyond a certain point, and Rav Sheshes was not successful. So anyway, so I thought Kinai V'Shach Rav Lishmat. So just as a ancillary comment, I got comment. Is it Shuvas Chavis Yoyer Siman Kuf Nun Hey? Okay, so now the Tanya Kuchusha Veshmeina Mishalim Tashlumei Kefil. If the animal goes ahead, it's weak. When he steals it, it's weak. The Shmeina and the Ganef went ahead and Mamish, he stooped this animal with food, and now the animal is gan saftig. Mishalim Tashlumei Kefil, but Tashlumei Abor B'Chamisha Kein Shagonav. Right? You're going to pay what? You're going to pay kefil and tashlumi abar chamisha kein shagonav, and not dalad v'hei, and not b'shas hamad b'din. What was Rav's statement, guys? Rav said two statements: one a keren statement, one a kefil statement. The keren was b'shas geneva, the kefil was b'shas hamad b'din, and so therefore here we see that what the kefil is b'shas geneva. Good. So says Rav Sheshes, how could Rav argue on this? And for the Gemara, I'll tell you why. Amri b'shem da'amalei, because he has a taina. Says the Ganef to the Nigzal, Ana patimna, I fattened it up. Yat shakalta, and you're going to take it right now. So obviously he's going to pay not what it's worth now. He's going to pay the kefil b'shas geneva. Okay, so Rav would agree over here, fellas. Rav did not say his din the kefil b'shas hamad b'din when the animal was fattened up by the ganef. If the animal was fattened up by the ganef is going to pay kishatz geneva. The kefil b'shas geneva, he's not going to pay b'shas hamad b'din. So that's out. Toshma. Now there's another possibility. Not that he went ahead and he fattened up the animal, but adrabah shmeina v'khisha. He went ahead. He took an animal that had been fat. He worked it to the ground. He worked it to the bone, and he weakened it. Mishalim tashlumei kefil v'tashlumei abba b'chamisha. Ke'ein shegonav. Again, you're going to pay ke'ein shegonav, what it was worth when it was fat, not b'shas hamad b'din when it's thin. Kasha on Rav, who said you pay b'shas hamad b'din. Says Mahasanami b'shundaminolei mali kala kula mali kala palga. Okay, I will go this machlokes Rashi and Tosfos. We'll go with Rashi. Let's see Rashi inside. Second line where it gets thin. Again, why did Rav say, fellas, that tficha mechira goes b'shas hamad b'din? This price seems to say you go b'shas geneva. Mali kala palga hilkach. Now he shaita the akasha from the time he started weakening the animal. Tficha. That's considered why the beginning of the tficha. That's considered what the beginning of the tficha. Good. So therefore, you know why you pay kishas geneva? Because when you started weakening the animal, working it to the bone, it's considered as if you shechted the animal. Therefore, Rav would agree in this case that you pay kishas geneva and not kishas hamad b'din. So again, two challenges. In both cases, the Ganef did something. In both cases, the Ganef did something. What did the Ganef do? He either fattened the animal or weakened the animal. In both those cases, it's going to go b'shas geneva and not b'shas hamad b'din. In the first case where he fattened up the animal, the Ganef has a taina. I put my money into this animal. I fattened it up. You should get the animal, right? And again, speaking, the animal's not around, fellas. Again, the animal is slaughtered, right? Or it's not around anymore. So therefore, you're not going to go b'shas. You're not going to go b'shas hamad b'din when it was worth hamad b'din. You're going to work b'shas the geneva when I stole it when it was thin. What about conversely, if you stole it when it was fat, and now you began what? You're going to pay the price it was when it was fat, not the price when it's paid when you took it out of this world. B'shas hamad b'din. Rav says you pay b'shas hamad b'din. Over here, we'd agree you go at the time what? You took it out of the world. Why? Because the beginning of working the animal, weakening the animal, is considered as if you shechted the animal. Okay. So therefore, those are. So when did Rav say his din, guys? So when again, if Rav did not say his din when the animal was heavy and he made it lighter, or vice versa, when did he say his din? Says the Gemara, Ki ka'amar Rav, when did Rav say his din? Biyukra v'zula, where you didn't do anything, where the commodities market changed, where either went up in price or down in price. Okay, that's when Rav said his din. Not when you effectively made a change in the animal, but it happened biyukra v'zula, hu dekamar. Now, what exactly happened? What exactly is the case? It was when you stole it, it was worth a zuz. And the end it was worth 4. Right? When you stole it, it was worth a zuz. And the end it was worth 4. And zuze, shavet dalet zuze, Karen kain shaganav. So Karen would be what? 1. Karen would be 1. It was worth 1 at the time. It went up. And again, you said Karen kain shaganav, and the kefil is shas hamad bedin. So in this case, you'd pay for the Karen 1, and the kefil you go after the 4. Let's lema pligi de rabba, which is not a problem. We want shalom al Yisrael. We want shalom al Yisrael. We want everyone to agree. Rav can certainly disagree with Rabba. They're both Amoraim. In fact, Rav was a generation before Rabba. So they definitely could disagree. The Amar Rabba, again. So guys, so now here's the key, guys. Karen, b'shas geneva. Good. Karen kain shaganav. Keep in mind, the only one who pays kefil is a ganif, not a goslin. You guys remember? The only one who pays kefil is the ganif, the one who stole clandestinely, but you don't know about it. The one that stole openly, that you know about it, does not pay kefil. So let's suggest perhaps now, Rav, who said that the Karen is kain shaganav, is going to argue on Rabbah. Why? Hayman de gozel chavita de chamra mechavre, a person who stole a barrel of wine from his friend. Keyword, guys, de gozal. As soon as you see the word gozal, what does that mean? Only keren, not kefil, right? Only keren, not kefil, because it doesn't say gonaf, it says gozal. So you stole a barrel of wine. Meikara shav initially it was worth a zuz. Ulbesov shav dalit, and the end it's worth what? 4. 4 zuzeh. Tavra, if he breaks the barrel, by shasya, or he drinks from the barrel, mishalem dalit. He's going to pay what? He's going to pay dalit. He's going to pay 4. Now, what's he paying? He's paying 4 and you're going on to Karen, correct? This is Karen, yes? Because again, it's not a ganif. He's paying 4. 4 is the price when later on, b'shas hamad bedin. Why did Rav say the Karen is? Kein shagonav. So let's suggest that Rav and Rabba argue on each other. Again, one more time. Rabba says that in the case of Geneva, where there's Kefil and Keren, the Keren will go Kishas Geneva. Rabba brings the case where the Keren is going B'shas later on, not at the time of the Geneva. When he stole the barrel of wine, it was worth what? It was worth 1. Now he breaks it, it's worth 4. He's going to pay 4. What's he paying? He's not paying kefil because he's a goslin. He's paying keren. So let's say Rav and Rabba are in disagreement. Are in disagreement. Says the Gemara, right? Itmar memela. If it breaks memela, meaning he didn't go ahead and break it, mishalim zuze, then they'll pay a zuz. Okay. So l'chayra, you have the kasha is the keren is going to be, you're going to pay. If you break it, you're going to pay, right? Rav said his din. Initially, it was worth 4. At the end, it was worth 1. Karen kain shaganav. You're going to go after the 4. And that'll go kshas hamad bedin. If that's the case, then him and Rabba would agree. That's the case, they both pay 4, right? Rabba, the Karen would pay 4, and he would pay 4. They would both be in agreement. They both be in agreement. Okay. Says the Gemara, Tani Reb Chanina, l'siyui l'Rav. Okay, guys, we're going to bring in a brisa. We're going to bring in 3 shitas. We're going to try to bring a raya from the first shita. We're going to reject the raya, and then we're going to go ahead and tangentially explain the first 2 shitas. Now we know there's something called the Kabin Asham Gazeles, where a person a claim is made from an individual. Where's my pikadon? You said you never gave it to me. You swore falsely, and then you admitted that you took it. So you're going to pay Keren, principal, chaimish, which is literally a fifth, but it's really not 120. It's not 20%, fellas. It's 25%. We've done this quite a few times. There's a chaimish milagav and a chaimish milabar. There's a chaimish from inside and a chaimish from outside. So the way it works, according to this, the easiest way to know is it's a quarter, guys. It's 25%. It's a quarter. So if I have something that's worth 100, so each part is worth 25. So if I add another part, it's 125, right? Another part. So that's the part. You're taking a fifth part. You're taking a fifth part. So basically, you're taking a quarter. You're taking whatever this would be. 100. Each one of these would represent a quarter. The fifth is this, similar to these things. It's called a shlish milabar, an outside, not a shlish, a chaimish milabar. So always be aware it's a quarter, guys. It's always a quarter. I mention it all the time. When we get a chaimish, it's a quarter. So you pay a keren, a chaimish, and you bring a carbon asham gazelis. Bring a carbon asham gazelis. So now we're gonna go have a through machloikis in this brisa, and we're gonna try to bring a raya to Rav from the first shita. Says the Gemara. Tani Reb Chanina l'siyur Rav. Balabaya shetoyin tainis ganev. B'pikadim. He was entrusted to what something. He says it was what it was stolen. V'nishba, and he swears to that fact that it was stolen. He swears to shuas hashayimim. Then v'hoidu, he admits that he took it. Uba'u edim, and edim kam. Imachle bo'u edim hoida. If his hoida took place before the edim kam, now he's not going to pay. Guys, remember, Toyin Tainis Ganev pays kefil, fellas. Toyin Tainis Ganev pays kefil. But let's say he was moida before the edim came. So we say moida b'kinas is pata. You were moida on the kefil part, so you're pata. Imachle bo'u edim hoida v'shalim keren v'chaimish v'asham. Benji, this is what you said the other day. I told you. This is, you're going to pay keren chaimish v'asham as a classic case of what of asham gazelis. I pay keren because I ate it. I pay chaimish, right, because I swore, and I pay what? I pay the carbon. So, however, let's say it was moida after Adam came. Mishalim tashlumi kefil tayi tainis ganef. Again, the Adam came before his hoida. V'asham v'chaimish oiloloi b'kfeiloi, and the asham and the chaimish are oiloloi in his kefil. What does that mean? That this is important. That when his chaimish is equal to the kefil, when he pays the kefil, so you're paying double. So the chaimish is oil in the kefil. The chaimish is oil in the kefil. That's the key. That speaking where they're the exact amount, that the chaimish and the kefil exact amount, and we're going to bring a raya from this case. We're going to bring a raya from this case. So in this case, like Rabbi Yaakov, we have where Adam came before him, he's going to pay kefil because again, his haydad is not. He's not minded bit moed b'kanas. We know he's chayav already, and he doesn't pay what the chaimish because the chaimish counted. The chaimish counted. Divrei Rabbi Yaakov. These are the words of Rabbi Yaakov. Amid Beis, the chachamim oimim, the chachamim of the opinion, b'roishay v'chamishisa. Okay, so what does the pasuk say? The pasuk says, "Hisvadu es chatasam asher asu," and he admit the chait that he did. He admit that he swore falsely, and he took it. V'heishav es hashamai, he'll return the keren, b'roishay, v'chamisha yosef alav, v'nasam asher asham lo, and he'll give it to the person. So the word roishay, guys, means the keren. The chamishisai means the chaimish. So now, when we're going to learn b'roishay v'chamishisav mamin hamishtalim b'roish the keren moisav chaimish, a mamin that's mishtalim b'roish, meaning that is the keren you pay a chaimish. Mamin she'ein mishtalim b'roish ein moisav chaimish, but mamin that you're not mishtalim b'roish ein moisav chaimish. So he says that you'll only pay a chaimish on the keren. You won't pay a chaimish on the kefil, guys. So in this last case. Guys, the last case, right? In the last case, according to Rabbi Yaakov, you're going to pay the keren in the kefil, according to and the chaimish. According to the chachamim, there will be no chaimish. Why? Because there's no keren. There will be no chaimish because there's no keren. The only time you pay chaimish is when there's keren. Here you're paying kefil, you're paying double. In the mela, there is no chiv over there. However, you would bring the carbon asham. You would be asham gazeles. So what's the machlokes? Like Rabbi Yaakov, there's a chiv of keren. That chiv keren, if it equals to the kefil, when you pay the kefil, it takes care of the keren. And you bring a carbon. According to the Chachamim, you'll never pay chaimish when there's a kefil. You only pay chaimish when there's a keren, and you bring a carbon. Those are the two machlokes. The third opinion, let's see the third opinion now. Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai says, "Ein chaimish v'ashem mishtalim b'makam sheyesh kefil." Not only do you pay a chaimish, you don't even pay what? You don't even bring a carbon. Ein chaimish v'ashem. The ashem means the carbon. Mishtalim b'makam sheyesh kefil. If there's a chi of kefil, there's no chaimish, there's no carbon. So three are machlokes. Guys, let's go through it. And the first one is what we need. Even when there's a chi of kefil, there's a chi of keren and a carbon. Where do you pay the chi of keren? In the kefil when it's equal. That's the Yaakov. And that's what we need. Second opinion is the Chachamim. And we're going to have limudim for all this. Says the Chachamim, when there's kefil, you never pay keren, but you do bring a carbon. Says Reb Shimon ben Yochai, if there's kefil, not only don't you pay keren, you don't even bring a carbon. Good. So what's the first shita? The first shita again is when you're going to go ahead and pay keren, and they're equal. The kefil comes together. Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm confused. Does Rabbi Stern mean that? Rabbi Stern keeps saying the keren is included. Do you mean the chomesh? Is the machlokus is about the keren is always paid? Isn't the machlokus?
Yeah. You're right. I stand corrected. It's the chaimish. I'm saying the wrong thing. It's the chaimish. Again, is there a chaimish? A chaimish is only when there's keren, or is chaimish is kefil? Excuse me. You're right. I sit corrected. Thank you for making that correction. I'm speaking about. I keep on saying the word keren. I mean the chaimish. I mean the chaimish. Correct. Thank you. Karen, you're always going to pay. The question is the chaimish. I mistakenly keep on saying the same thing. I'm sorry. Thank you, and thank you for the correction. Says the Gemara Vaita. Kitani mihas. Nonetheless, we learned. Okay, now this is what we need. Kitani mihas. Nonetheless, we learned chaimish oilaloi bikfeiloi, that the chaimish is oila b'kefil, meaning when it's the same. Good. Divrei Rabbi Yaakov. Hechi dami. What exactly are we speaking about? And again, guys, we're bringing a raya to Rav. What does Rav hold? Keren kein shegonov, kefil v'tashlumi v'dal v'hei b'shas hamada b'din. Good, and we're bringing a raya to that. Hechi dami. Ilem edemei kara shavya dalid. When he stole it, it was worth 4. Ul b'shoiv shava arba, and the end it's worth 4. Now, guys, how much is a chaimish of 4? Right? Remember, it's a quarter. Good, that's what. Right? It's 1. So it says the Gemara, if initially when he stole it, it was worth 4, and the end by Shas Hamada B'din it was worth 4. Chaimish oila b'kfeiloi. How could you say the chaimish equals the kefil? Kfeila arba, the kefil is 4. The chumsha zuzah, and the chaimish is what is 1. Again, remember the chaimish is a quarter of a 4. Elalav, the meikara shavya arba. Initially, it was worth 4. Ulbesoiv shavya zuzah, and it was worth what? 1. So, guys, the kfeila zuzah, the chumsha zuzah, the kefil is a zuz, and the chaimish is a zuz. So you have a raya that what? Alma, Keren, Ke'en, Sheganav, Tashlumi Kefil, Tashlumi Dala Vehei, Kishas Hamada B'din. Right? You're going in 1 and 4, Baruch Hashem. In other words, the Keren's 1, the Kefil's 4, right? And the Oila, and since the Chaimish is going to be 1, like the Keren, it's Oila, you pay double, it's included. Amarava, Lo'ilam Demeikara Shavya Arba. Vahashtanami Shara Arba. You had a question then with the Kasha Kefela Dala V'chumsha Zuzah. He swore 4 times. In other words, it's shaykh to bring the guy swore four times. So it's he swore 4 times. So each one's mechayiv in 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore, you're going to have the same. No, He remains the same. The Karen remains the same, and the excuse the it's going to be 4 in the kefil. So kefel's 4, and he's chayiv 4 times 1, a chaimish each time, and so that's going to be 4 to 4. So you have no raya. Ken zayin means what b'shas what it could be speaking b'shas amad bedin, but the reason you're paying 4 is because why? Because you swore the chaimish is 4 times 1. Okay, v'chayz v'nishba arba pamim v'hayda v'atayr omer v'chamishi sav. It's actually extra yud there. Hatayr ribsa chamishis is harbe. It's a lashon plural. The Torah is marba many chamshim b'karen achas on 1 karen. Okay, now going back. Oh, so we have the attempt, fellas, guys. We attempted to bring a raya to Rav from Yaakov by saying it must be speaking where it was worth 4, went down to 1. No, it's speaking what? It's speaking 4, and you have no raya. Now the Gemara is going to go over the Gemara is going to go over the 2 previous shittas. The shita of Chachamim, where you won't pay the chaimish, right? You won't pay the chaimish. Why? Because you don't pay by kefil. If there's kefil, you don't pay the chaimish. And also, in addition, the shita, but you do bring a carbon. And the shita of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, that not only you don't pay the chaimish, you don't even bring a carbon. Okay, where do they learn it from? So you need a pasuk. Hopefully, you have a psukim there. There's a pasuk in Vayikra Hey. Oimi kol asher yishova alav lasheker v'shilam aso berosho v'chamishiso Yosef alav. So it says the word berosho v'chamisha Yosef alav, and then the next pasuk says ve'es hashamo, and then the pasuk says ve'es hashamo. So you have the first pasuk speaking about the keren and the chaimish, and the next pasuk speaking about what? About the carbon, and have the word ve'es in between. Guys, that's as always, follow the fingers and you'll get the share. Keren chaimish in 1 pasuk. Next pasuk ve'es. Now the question is the ve'es a connection, or is it what? Is a disconnect? Disconnect. So when you have this, do you have this or not? That's going to be the crux of the thrust of the limud. Says the Gemara. Amar, going back over the Brisa. The Chachamim moimrim beroishoy v'chamishisai moment amishtalim beroish ma'asav chaimish. When you have a keren, then you're going to pay chaimish. Moment sheimishtalim beroish. A moisav chaimish. When you have the chi of what of kefel, then you're not going to pay the chaimish. Aval osham maisi, but you will bring the carbon osham. Maishna chaimish deloi mishalim. What's the difference of the chaimish you don't pay? Dechsiv beroishoy v'chamishisoi. Ashanami lo mishtalim dechsiv beroishoy v'chamishisoi ve'es hashamai. And ve'es hashamai is l'chayra. If you're not going to pay the chaimish, then you're not going to. In other words, the question, it seems to be when you pay the chaimish. Guys, look at my fingers. When you pay the chaimish, then ve'es hashamai. When you pay the chaimish ve'es hashamai, then you're going to be in the carbon asham, right? When you don't pay the chaimish, so therefore, right, you shouldn't pay the carbon. You shouldn't bring the carbon asham. So the Gemara has a problem with that. But the Gemara says the Chacham say you do bring the carbon asham. So what's the reason why? Amalach Rabbanon es paske kra. The s goes ahead what, and it's mafsik. The s f is mafsik. That one has nothing to do with the other. Guys, so watch. Even though I'm not going to pay what? A chaimish, because I'm not paying keren, I'm paying kefo, S is mafsik. A shamay I will bring. That's the chachamim. So, even if the first pasuk doesn't exist, S ashamay I will bring the carbon asham. The first pasuk doesn't exist because I'm paying kefo. I'm not paying keren. So, if I'm paying kefo, I'm not eating a chaimish. But S ashamay, that you're bringing. Good. What does Reb Shimon Bar Yochai say? The S arve kra. The S puts it together, meaning when you have pasuk A, then you have pasuk B. When I pay the keren and I pay the chaimish, then the S hashama, I bring the carbon. But once I'm not paying the chaimish because I'm not paying the keren, because I'm paying kefal, then you do not go ahead and bring the carbon either. So the question is the S a hafsaka or is the S a chibur? If it's a hafsaka, it's 2 separate dinim. I don't pay the chaimish, but I will bring the carbon asham. That's the chachamim. Says Rosh Hashanah, no, the S is a chibur. We're connecting it and saying, if you're not going to pay the keren, and therefore you're not going to pay the chaimish, you're not bringing carbon either. For Rabbanon Amilach, loy lichle rachmana, loy vav v'lo yes. If that's the case, don't write anything. In other words, don't write anything. And then you know there's no connection. Rosh Hashanah Amilach, et loy sagid loy kas. You have to write it. To make the difference between the chaimish, the mammon hedya to the carbon. I needed a hefsek to make a hefsek between the intrinsic difference between the monetary chiyuvim over here. One is din is a chaimish is din in mum and hedyet, right? And it goes to the coin, and the other thing goes to the coin, I guess. No, I guess not. I'm not sure. I said that, but it's mum and hedyet. I guess it goes to the owner of the carbon. That why the coin's not involved over here at all. It goes to what to the person who was entrusted you to watch this thing, and you lied. So you have to pay a Karen and a quarter. You have to pay a surcharge among that. So that's mum and hedyet. It goes to him. It doesn't go to the gavoya. And the carbon is mum and gavoya. So I need the S to make mafsik between the carbon that goes to Hashem and the money that goes to a hedyet. So therefore, in your kind of chachamim, if there's one is nothing to do with the other, don't say anything. I had to say something. I had to make a hafsaka. What did the vav do? That comes along. Hilchach asi vav and arve kra. The pasuk vav goes ahead and puts them together. So now you know what? Now you know that the two different sheetas, right? We have those two different sheetas. So the three sheetas. Sheetas Rabbi Yaakov, kefel, you will pay kefel when the keren and when it's equal, keren the chaimish, you're going to go ahead and you're going to pay, right? You're going to pay the kefel when the nichlal in the kefel will be the keren, and you'll bring the carbon. According to Chachamim, if you pay kefel, you're never paying the chaimish, but you will bring a carbon. According to Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, if you're paying kefil, not only you're not paying a chaimish, you're not paying a carbon either. And all from limudim. The Gemara continues. Amar Aviloi, Gonav tle v'nasa ayel. Now we're introduced now to the concept of shinoi. You steal a tle, a little shepsula, and now it becomes a ram. Usually a ram is 2 years old, right? It becomes a ram. Egel v'nasa shar. You steal an egel and it becomes a shar. Nasa shina biyadai. In the hands of the ganif, it's considered a shinoi, the kanu, and he acquires it. Now, don't mistakenly think he acquires it a good. He stole and now it's his, and he goes home. He's happy. No, that's not what it means. What it means is that he's kana to the extent that tabachu macher shalohu toveach shalohu mocher. To the extent that now, if he goes ahead and he shechts it or sells it, he won't pay daled v'hei. It's not the same animal that he stole. He stole the tle, it's now an ayel. He stole the egel, it's now a shar. Says Rav Eloi, this now shinoi is koina to the extent the animal will be considered his, that if he shechts it and or sells it, he won't pay daled v'hei. That's the chiddush of shinoi koina according to Rabbi Eloi. Eisvei Reb Chanina le Rabbi Eloi. Obviously, Reb Chanina is not going to hold of shinoi, as we're going to see in a second. Eisvei Reb Chanina le Rabbi Eloi gonav tle v'nasa ayel egel v'nasa shor mishalim tashlumei kefil v'tashlumei abar chamisha ke'ein shegonav. You're going to pay tashlumei arba chamisha what it was worth when it was a tle, what it was worth when it was an egel. V'sak daitach kanya b'shinoi amay mishalim shlohu taveach shlohu mocher. So why in the world is he going ahead? Why is he going ahead and spending anything? In other words, fellas, here you're telling me he is paying daled v'hei based upon what it was worth when he stole it. But if Shinu is koina and he's shechting it when it's a shor or shechting it when it's an ayel, why in the world is he paying anything? Okay, now, when it says over here that it's mashma that Reb Chanina does not hold of Shinu koina, right? Take a look at Taisus, the third Taisus down. Take a look at the third Taisus down. Pirish ki hai in this situation, the tlev v'nasa ayel, meaning you don't say it's Shinu's koina. Aval pshita the Shinu koina kedama b'samech the Shinu koina lebeis Hillel. In other words, when Reb Chanina is arguing on Rabbi Eloi, he's not arguing on the amalgamated din, the universal din of Shinu koina. Beis Hillel is the one who holds Shinu's koina, and the halacha is like Beis Hillel, based upon the Gemara in Yud Gimel and Erevin. So Tosis is pointing out, when Chanina argues Shinu koina, it's specifically in this case when it went from being an egel to a shor or a tle to an ayel. This case, he's arguing whether Shinu is koina, but in general, he will go ahead and admit that Shinu is koina. Good. Amalei. So now, Rav Eloi was challenged Rav Chanina. Rav Eloi said you shouldn't pay daled v'hei at all. Rav Chanina is saying you pay based upon kein shegonav, but you do pay daled v'hei. I shinu koini, you should pay daled v'hei because you're shechting it as a shor or you're shechting it as an ayel, right? So kasha, amalei ve'elamai shinu loy koina. If that's the case, if shinu is not koina, amay mishalim kein shegonav l'shalem ki hashta. Guys, why are you paying if shinu is not koina? Then why are you paying for what it was worth at the time of the Geneva? You should pay what it's worth now at the time of when it's a shar, at the time when it's an ayil. Correct. Again, one more time. Rabbi Loi said the following: if Shin is kaina, therefore good you stole it, but when you shechted it, it's not the same animal you stole. Shino, it's a different animal. It's now a shar. It's not a nagel. Good, we understand that. Comes along Rabbi Chananya and says, "What are you talking about? I'll show you Shino is not kaina. Why? Because you're going to pay daled v'hei. You're going to pay daled v'hei based upon what? You're going to pay. You're going to pay daled. You're going to pay. You're going to pay daled. You're going to pay daled. Want to say hello?
He's not going to talk.
You can say hello. Say hello. Okay. Welcome to my Shabbos, guys.
He's going to be very quiet.
Anyway, so if Shina is not kaina, why are you paying price based upon Geneva? You should pay based upon what it is now. Nothing changed, right? It's b'shas hamada b'din. Daled v'hei goes b'shas hamada b'din. B'shas hamada b'din, it's a shor. You should pay based upon the value of the shor. Why are you going back to the price of what of, right? Why are you going back? Yeah, guys, it's Gavaldik Taina. They each have a good time on. We take them out.
They said they're not going to talk. Sorry.
Take them out. Enough. I had enough Shabbos with them. Enough already. Absolutely, it's on the recording. Okay. Anyway, Benji, you asked what my Shabbos was about. Welcome to my world. Anyway, I would do anything for Yitzi. Anyway, so one more time. We have over here the following. You have let's say with the egel and the shar. You have an egel, shar. If shinus kaina, but you shechted is not this, therefore you're not going to pay. Says Rabbi Chananya, said Rabbi Chananya to Rabbi Loi, 1 second. You are going to pay. What are you going to pay? You're going to pay this because shin is not kaina. So, because if shin is kaina, you shouldn't pay anything. Says Rabbi Loi, doing the Jewish thing, asking a question to a question. 1 second. Shin is not kaina. If shin is not kaina, why are you paying the cheaper price? You should pay the more expensive price. You should pay the price of a shar, right? You should pay the price of a shar. Good. That's his kasha. So therefore, what does he say? What's the end of this conversation? What's the reason? He says, Tura gam. Did I steal a tar from you? Dikra gam from you. Did I steal a ram from you? I stole an egel, and I stole what? And I stole the tle, right? So what? So Amalei. So Rabbi Chananya said, Rachmana nitzlin mehaidaita. Amalei, Rabbi Loi said to him, Adrabba, Rachmana nitzlin midaita didach. Each one said, each one saw the other one's taina, and therefore they remained the same. Okay, this I zoomed through this daf, guys. It's a lot of stuff over here, but we'll do what we do. Tomorrow, Bez Hashem in the morning. It's a very challenging daf, but we'll do it Bez Hashem. Kitfach, everybody. Let's take Kapitel Tehillim.